In today's video, I want to share with you this desk setup. I've had this for several months. This is where I record these videos. This is where I play my Xbox. So this is not only a workplace, but also a fun space for me. Starting with the desk. This is a Vernal desk. I got their shelf and also their sit and stand desk. Honestly, before this, I haven't had a standing desk, so this was the first time I got to play around with it. It's actually got manual adjustments and then also 4 programmable settings that you can just program in there so that at a touch of a button, you can either raise this or lower it to your desired settings. Now, they sent this desk out to me a while back, but as I do with everything else, I take my time and I make sure something is solid before I actually get to sharing it with you, because that is what makes for trusty reviews. This is their walnut desk. I really love this look. I love the dark look. I have like soft yellow lighting in here, so it just, the tone of the lighting with the desk color really brings everything together and gives me a warm, comfortable place to work in. You can also see this little portion of the shelf from this viewpoint, and I opted in to get the shelf just so I could put all my little decorations and little pieces that resemble who I am, like this little minion that you can see here. And at the bottom of the shelf, you have these 2 compartments. One I have my keyboard slid into, and then the other actually has a tray, but I didn't go for the tray because I thought this would be a perfect spot to put my Xbox Series S, which not only looks great there, but really brings the shelf and desk together. At the bottom of the desk, you also have like a compartment for all your cable management, which we'll get to in a little bit. So that is also another nice addition. Now, where a standing desk is really awesome is that when you're first initially setting up things, with any desk in the past that I've had, I've always had to crawl under the desk and do the cable management, and it's really tough. But with this, the nice thing is that I set the desk in a standing position and I kept it high enough to where I could easily just get all the cables in order. So that's another nice thing about a standing desk, apart from the fact that this gives you a nice little break from just sitting, because the longest times that I spent at this desk is when I'm editing these YouTube videos, and just to have the option of standing for a bit and then also sitting down is a very nice addition. So if you're looking for a good desk to complement your space, that's going to be solid, that's going to be functional, this is a great option. Another great option is a Flexispot, which I have for my wife's office setup. That is also a good sit-stand desk, and that is more so on the budget side compared to this one. I will link these down below along with all the other things that I'm going to mention here so that you can check any of these items out for yourself. Next up, I want to move to what's powering this entire setup, and that is my M1 Pro MacBook Pro. Honestly, I can't say enough good things about this laptop, simply because I've had it since launch and it's been able to do anything I throw on it. As a matter of fact, I think I only heard the fans kick on once, and that was because this is actually a garage space. So I have like my little office inside of a garage, and it got pretty hot in here, and that's why the fans turned on. So if it wasn't for that, I don't think these fans ever come on. Like seriously, everything I've done, and the most intensive thing I do is the footage I throw at it from my camera, the Sony camera that's recording me right now. It's 4K, it's log footage, it's really intense, and this handles it with a breeze and no problem. So honestly, I'm pretty sure whatever you're doing at home should be able to be done on this M1 Pro MacBook Pro. I have the base model. I use an external SSD for all of my data, especially like editing and stuff. So honestly, you don't need the latest and greatest offering from Apple, which is the M3 MacBooks, and soon it's probably going to be the M4 MacBooks. Find one of these used, and all that extra money that you have left over, you can put towards other accessories, like maybe you need a newer keyboard or maybe a monitor, which is exactly what we're going to move to. This monitor, the only difficult thing with it is that till this day, I have not memorized its name. It's made by LG. It's a great 38-inch ultra-wide monitor. It's worked well for me since I've had it in 2020. So now we're on 4 years. This monitor's done a great job. One of my favorite things about it is the split inputs. So you can have your Xbox on one side and then you can have work stuff running on the other. I really like that, but mostly I'm always using it in this layout with one of the inputs. I have my M1 MacBook Pro directly plugged into here via USB-C, and then the Xbox goes into here via HDMI, and those are the only two things that are connected to it. And I know it's not a true 4K, or nor does it have the craziest frames per second frame rate, but it gets the job done, it has good colors, and I have yet to have any issue with it whatsoever. What I've also loved is just having such a wide screen to do photo editing, video editing. It gives you such a large canvas. Matter of fact, anytime I am on the move, one of the things I miss most about this workspace is the fact that this monitor can't go with me, because on the MacBook I have a 14-inch, and even though it gets the job done when I'm on the move, I definitely love just having the ultra wide view and 38 inches of real estate to just do my work and get everything done in an efficient manner. I know there's tons of new monitors out there, but again, this is one of those things. Like, if you have watched my channel before, you know I'm pretty practical with all my tech stuff. So this is, again, a practical purchase that you can make, because I'm pretty sure if you go out, you can find this for a good deal. And again, save some money for all the other things that are going to make up your desk setup. Next up, let's move to what's behind the monitor, and that's going to be my Philips Hue light bars. Philips Hue products, I've been using their bulbs, their side table lamps. I mean, I have tons of their products, and these are one of those products that you buy once and you pretty much forget about it. They have been so reliable, and even when they have not, reaching out to Philips Hue for support has been like so easy, and getting a product replaced, because they have really good warranties on their stuff. I've done some videos on their products. I'm a huge believer in them because they make solid stuff. They work with Apple HomeKit, so it's been a great experience overall. So honestly, I would really recommend that you buy these, because I've used other light bars and stuff and they just don't even compare. Now, I also have a key light up top, which is an aperture light, and that's what's lighting me right now. So I've got it mounted to the wall. So if you do have a small home studio or a small bedroom that you want to turn into a YouTube studio, this is a great option, because it gives you, I used to keep like my lights on like stands and stuff and off to the side, but just having a fixed position for at least this main light, it just gives me good enough light and it's in place, and I just simply turn it on via the Aperture app and I'm good to go. I can just start recording. So really good quality light. At the same time, whenever I'm doing like product shots on this desk, it just gives me the perfect amount of light to showcase those products here on this desk. Next up, I want to move to the Magic Trackpad. I really love this because it just has such a good surface area. And this is really useful when I'm doing photo edits or video edits, because I do projects outside of YouTube for like video work and photo work. So this is just handy all around. And this by far, ever since I got my MacBook 16 way back and I had that large trackpad, the first thing I did when I switched from that to the M1 Mac Mini is get one of these, because I love having this surface area for all the different gestures, scrolling, pinching in, pinching out. I highly recommend this product. Along with this, I use the Magic Keyboard, and I have the variant that is space black. And I also have the variant that has the numeric keys, because I use numbers a lot, and so having these keys right here is a huge plus for me. This keyboard has stood the test of time. I even sat on this when I first did my desk setup, my first ever setup during COVID. So yeah, this is a very durable keyboard. It's been working great. I love the sound of it. I love the keys, everything about it. And if it ain't broke, I'm not gonna replace it. So it's just been working well along with the Magic Trackpad. And I love the fact how it is wide enough so like when I keep it out here, I like to keep it in the center so that way it kind of looks aesthetically pleasing with the wide monitor. So that's why I also like this. But then when I'm done with it, I can just tuck it away. So when I'm recording these videos or when I'm not using it at all, I can just have it tucked away and I can use all this desk space for anything else that I might need. Now I also have a multi-port charger. This is right off to the left side of my desk. I've actually got a magnet ring on here. This is my own Magsafe kit and a Magsafe Anywhere mount, which is also a product of my own. Reason I did that is that I attached it to one of the legs of the shelf, so that way it would stay in place when I'm plugging in different things. This is by a company called Multiport. I found them on Amazon. This has 7 different USB-C ports ranging from 100 watt to 35 watt, 45 watt, and also 20 watt. It also has a USB-A port, so I often am charging so many different things, and one problem I was having is that when I was trying to use the stand that came with this, every time I went to plug in stuff, I would have to hold it. So I just permanently mounted it to the side of the leg of the desk, and that way when I plug in stuff or I plug it out, it doesn't move around. And this is perfect for me because I'm often charging sometimes the keyboard, the headphones, my camera, different batteries. So having a multi-charger at my desk has been a huge plus. And if you're somebody that has a lot of things that you need to charge all at once, then look into one of these. It's worked fine for me. I've had it for about 5 to 6 months now, so no problems whatsoever. Next to it, I have this little scent oil diffuser. This, I mix a couple of different scents into this, and this has like 3 different speeds. Again, you can find these on Amazon. I'll link one down below. So this being a garage, like when the door opens or just it's a space that's not having a lot of air moving through it. So just to keep the space fresh, I every now and then just turn this on, let it do its thing, and it just keeps the area smelling good and smelling fresh. Also on this left side, I keep my own 3-in-1 charging system. Right now I've got my Apple Watch. My Apple Watch I'm usually wearing, but it was low on battery. I've got it charging here. I've worked really hard on this product. This is my newest product, and it can charge your iPhone, AirPods, and Apple Watch. And the iPhone up to 15 watts, the Apple Watch up to 5 watts, and then the AirPods or wireless buds charger does up to 3 watts. It also has an ambient light that you can turn on by touching this panel on the left. So you can just tap it to turn it on. But I kept a functionality in there so you can turn it off as well, simply because I know that could be bothersome to some people if you're keeping it like at your bedside. Also back here, I have my AirPods. They usually just sit on my desk. I actually don't use these for anything other than video edits. So when I'm at this desk, the AirPods Max are my go-to headphones. I love these. I've had them since they launched. I actually have Pitaka's air shells on here, and that's really nice because they just keep the shells of the AirPods Max nicely protected. And I really like the black aramid fiber look, so looks sick and works well. All right, next up we're gonna move to the top of the desk shelf, and my favorite piece here has to be my Xbox Elite Series 2 controller. This was gifted to me by the wife on one of my birthdays, and this has been an awesome addition. Even when I am pairing this with the iPad and just playing with that, I know it might be overkill for that, but it's such a good controller. You've got these buttons over here that are mappable to whatever you like. So when I play Call of Duty, I have these set to like jump, and then this is for slide. So you never have to take your hands off of the joysticks. So really awesome. I also use the longer joystick for the right side just because I like the amount of precision that it gives me. I love the look and functionality of this controller. And so up top here, I've got its charger, and I always try to keep it centered to where it's right underneath the LG logo. I really like it. Now to the left, I have several minions on this desk. Actually, a lot of my friends and family know that I like Minions. I recently saw the newest movie of theirs, and so everybody ends up gifting me something that is Minion related. Matter of fact, in this garage up top there, we've got a spooked out Minion, which I thought would be perfect to hang on the little mechanism of the garage opening and closing. I'll show you that when I go to edit the video. But yeah, bunch of different Minions, whether it's Lego pieces or actually individual toys. I just like Minions because I feel like they do everything that we want to do, but we don't do because we're grown-ups. So I feel like Minions bring that inner child out of me. So I really love them. I think they're great. And so whenever I see a piece I like this caveman one, I really like them, and I often keep them at my desk. Just brings me a little bit of joy. So it's a little part of my personality that you can get to know about. I also really like this piece here. I got this a long time ago from Grid. This is the A7 processor just in this little piece. Looks really cool and makes for a great addition. And then I have a fake plant. I would love to actually keep a real plant because I love plants. If you've seen a bunch of my videos, then you've probably seen plants in the background. I have a lot of real plants, but they all have to be in a place that's not a garage so that they can actually survive. So that's why I just have this fake one here just to add a bit of greenery to the space. Now, moving on to the cable management. So I'm very particular about cable management. Like, I don't like cables to be showing, but with this light, and also there's another light that's sitting on top of my Alex drawers that I used for a previous desk setup. I just really had no choice. Like, I only have one outlet here. So those are the two wires that you actually mainly see. Other than that, everything else is neatly placed in that tray that came with the desk. And the only one that I had to mount to the outside of the tray mechanism is the power adapter to this monitor, because that one I use like my own magnet mounts to mount a bunch of different things underneath desk setups. But this desk setup, because it had a dedicated tray, I actually left those magnet mounts on there, and the LG power adapter wouldn't fit. And so I just mounted it to the front. And because the tray is white and the LG adapter is white, you can't really see it. But overall, the cable tray does a good job of just keeping everything contained. In that, I have a multi-port Anchor power strip, which has every different thing that's been plugged up here. And then I run all the cables through the monitor arm that is by Vivo, I believe. And this arm, again, is something that I've had for several years. So if you're looking for a solid monitor arm, I have my microphone attached to the arm, and it's also holding up the monitor. I love the floating look that it gives the monitor. So all my cables are routed through that stem of the monitor arm, and so that way they're pretty well hidden. And the only other cable that I actually keep out in the open is this one that is tucked right next to my MacBook. And that's because I love gaming on the Xbox, but every now and then if I am playing something on the iPad, then I can connect the iPad directly into here and use that Xbox controller paired with it, so I can get a better viewing experience by utilizing the monitor instead of the iPad minis on screen. Now, as for the Alex drawers that I just mentioned, they were in my previous desk setup. They're actually what held the desk in place. I had one on one side and one on the other. I'm still using those because those hold all of my accessories for my camera. I have one drawer for cables, and then also all my packaging material for my online store. And I have my printer, the label printer, is sitting on top of one of those. And so I'll show you, it's off to the side, but I just put both the drawers next to each other because This desk itself doesn't have any drawers, and I didn't want to keep anything underneath to restrict the space here. So I just kept them off to the side with a light sitting on top of it. This is a great space, and what I love about setting up an office in the garage is just it's a room away from the rest of the house. Like nobody really comes here, and it's a secluded space. So it really gives you the peace and quiet you need to just get your work done. And the fact that I can work at this desk, I can play at this desk, and get everything I need done. This is a great use of a garage, and at the same time, it keeps the garage nice and clean. So you might have not thought of a garage space being a great workspace, but it can really be turned into one and be a nice little room that isn't connected to the rest of your house, where there's plenty of distractions and people moving around and things going on. I really love this workspace. It works really well, and I really hope that you found some inspiration or some ideas to incorporate into your own setup. And speaking of your setup, tell me down below in the comment section, how do you have your stuff set up? Because I love seeing how people take spaces and make it an efficient workspace or a fun space for themselves. Thank you so much for your time. If you enjoyed this video, please do give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to comment and also check the description for all the linked items. They are Amazon affiliate links, so that way I do earn commission at no cost to you, of course. Thank you for your time. Like always, take care, and I will see you in the next video.